As she strides over to say hello to Jen Flynn Oldenburg in her third season in the helm in Columbus. Boy, as her team battle tested, this is their 6th match of the season. All 6 opponents ranked in the top 15. Last Sunday, they snapped Louisville's 24-match home win streak and inside another home court crucible on this Sunday. That was an attention getter, what transpired in Louisville with the Buckeyes. Georgia Tech, meanwhile, trying to continue climbing the ranks, already tied for their 2nd highest ranking in program history. Nebraska only behind #1 Texas in the national rankings, with Big Ten play looming for Ohio State. These were 2 of the most dynamic offenses in college volleyball last year. And they will be trading blows on this Sunday afternoon. This should be a lot of fun.
Yeah, you have a sense with both of these coaches. It's like a now or never mentality. They stack their preseasons, knowing that they have upperclassmen with experience on both of their squads, ready to go out with a bang this year.
Emily Londot, you see her on the screen, a double-double versus BYU, had 13 kills and a team-high 4 blocks. Bianca Bertolino had 4 aces against BYU on the service line for the Yellow Jackets. As we are now underway. Pancake by Bertolino, keeps it up for Bergman. And Julia Bergman gets the first point for the Jackets.
The layout save by Bertolino just to keep that ball alive. The transition attacking game for Georgia Tech is very productive because outside hitters like Bergman know how to work the block.
Georgia Tech put a lot of pressure on BYU from the service line. They get the block at the pin on Gonzalez. They load up instead for Londot. It's dug out by Pimentel. Scrambling ball, Londot, change of pace. Cover by Pimentel and chopped down, but dug up. No, it hit the floor. 2-0, Georgia Tech. Kylie Murray thought she had gotten to it as we take a look at Keeley's keys.
You know in O'Keefe Gym, this is a home court advantage for Georgia Tech, so you got to come out if you're Ohio State and be the aggressor. Find number 17, Bergman, first-team All-American, point leader for the nation, and try to stop her. For Georgia Tech, it's all about the total team offensive effort, getting the middles involved as we saw early on, working shots offensively, and then keep sticking passes. Georgia Tech is best when they're in system, when that setter D'Amico is at the net. You got some passers on your team, you got to stay in system.
Yeah, I think every match hinges on the quality of the setters, but especially so against a team like Ohio State as they set up the slide. Dug out from the back row by Gonzalez. It sets up a cross-court kill, but just wide off the arm of Janasia Moore. 3-1 Georgia Tech. And should we mention Keely Evelyn, Isabella D'Amico, Georgia Tech setter, native of Westerville, Ohio, 15 minutes outside of Columbus.
Yeah, you take a little more pride and effort when you play against a team that you attended their college matches when you were a kid.
Bergman winds up. Back to the All-American. Tries to finesse it cross-court, but wide.
So Bergman on that shot, just a little transition play. She was trying to avoid the 6'3" extension of Londot as a right front blocker. In this matchup situation, it's going to be a battle. Those are the 2 players we highlighted. Londot against Bergman in that front row.
Here's Bergman again. Doesn't miss this time as she chops it down the line.
You know how nice is that? Her previous attack cross-court, set up the block, recognizing, hey, I'll dig cross-court, give me a sliver. If you give Bergman a sliver down the line, she'll take advantage and crack it.
Enters the weekend leading the nation in points per set. Off the edge of the block, big swing by Janasia Moore, the outside hitter.
What Janasia Moore adds is speed on the outside attack. That was look how low this ball is by Podrasa. Going through nice and low, beating the seam is Moore right through that block.
Coming off a dozen kills versus BYU, her second straight match with double-digit kills. Bergman on the right side, diving dig by Moore. Joust at the net, ranging over, Londot. Now transition for Georgia Tech. Does it clip the line? It does not. And we're tied at 4. This is some stout defense at the net by Ohio State in the early going.
Yeah, you have to fight through the end. So that grit offense, that out-of-system play, it's a scramble because this Ohio State block is not intimidated with any attacker.
First swing by Tamara Otene, and it's out of bounds.
You can see the sliver. It's like a really small window you have to hit line. And if you're not all the way with a clean hand shot, that's how you can take that ball a little to your left.
3-0 run by the Buckeyes. They take their first lead of the set. Londa from the back row. Ohio State getting its bearings here in set number 1. Emily Londa, the AVCA National Freshman of the Year in 2020.
It's all about that first pickup by Gonzalez, because you know Londa can put a ball away in the front row, back row. Her setter going right for Podraza with the 1-2 punch.
Overpass, and leads to a point. Errant serve received by a normally sure-handed player in that category, Bianca Bertolino.
You know, this is the 4th serve receive pass. Bertolino, number 5 on your screens, passing. That's the strategy, going right at Bertolino on the serve if you're Ohio State.
Right back to Bertolino. Doesn't get clean contact on it. Otene gets it dug out by Murr. And another tool of the block. And this is 6-0 Ohio State run.
Coach Flynn Oldenburg talked about the advancement of Moore. Instead of just getting complacent and just being a sub type of player the last 2 years, she's elevated her game, her speed, her volleyball IQ, and the power.
Well, you need a rally stopper. You go to number 17, and Julia Bergman gets the side out.
You know, Bergman's line attack is almost undiggable. She gets a clean look at it. That's a one-on-one at a 6'5" angle coming down at you. You have to just be in the spot. Otherwise, a little movement, she's going to win the point.
Moore tries to push it long. Off platform and couldn't guide that into the corner.
You know, there's no stat in volleyball that says, hey, if you pass the ball past the 10-foot line off the net, how is your team serve receiving? But you see the Georgia Tech breakdown on passing. If it's off the net, Ohio State's win the point, and likewise for Ohio State right now.
Bergman doesn't clip a hand. It is long.
These attacking errors for Bergman, this is uncharacteristic. She knows her teammates need her to step up and handle the ball, but it's the scramble play, running around the court. Bergman, I know she wants that one back.
Service error as it was put in play by Sarah Sue Morbitzer. 9-7 Ohio State. That was something we talked about on Thursday when Georgia Tech faced BYU. It didn't necessarily pan out that way, but you had said Georgia Tech wanted to beat the Cougars. They needed some balance beyond Bergman. Probably the same applies today. Londa hammered, dug, D'Amico. Oh, and a miss hit from the middle by Moss.
Exactly right. So Georgia Tech the other night against BYU is their passing game and serve receive in system, but you see this is scramble balls, out of system plays, trying to get your middle of the ball in that grit type of offense.
Boy, first ball contact, not what Georgia Tech is needing right now, as Ohio State has stretched it out to a 4-point lead.
So right now, the strategy, I think Ohio State is executing perfectly. They're going after Bertolino, number 5 on your screen, on serve receive. That ball has not found another player. Good execution.
Otene cross court. One-handed ding by Morbitzer. And it was long. On the hit out of the middle. Michelle Collier, I think, going toward the challenge card. We'll see if she brandishes it. 12-7 right now And I believe the challenge has been initiated.
You know, Erin Moss, 23 for Georgia Tech in the middle. Right away, she was adamant that there was a touch on that. Live, it looked like no touch. So I'd be interested. It's going to be interesting to see if she's trying to fight for the touch at the block or the touch on the defender as the ball was going out of bounds.
Yeah, I don't think either of the Ohio State players in the middle jumped up enough in time to make contact.
Yeah, I think Morbitzer in middle back trying to lay out is the touch Erin Moss, 23 on your screen, is trying to fight for. But you're right, Andy. I'm not seeing it on the block nor the defender.
Oh, maybe was there a touch on the back row by Morbitzer?
You know, this angle is probably the harder one to see. The previous shot, we had a much clearer view of her hand coming under that ball instead of like touching it.
Yeah, that's what we're looking at. I think that was what Michelle Collier might have seen to prompt the review. Well, right now, though, a Georgia Tech team that we know can be so potent offensively, Keely, only 4 kills and 21 attacks. They're hitting a negative percentage. What has been frustrating the Jackets so far?
It's the service game for the Buckeyes, going right at Bertolino. Really strong service. There's a lot of pressure when you know you're the serve receive passer that you need to stick the passes. She used to be the Argentina national team libero, but now she's transitioned to the outside hitter role for Bertolino. So she just has to step up her passing game and take some ownership and say, I know you're coming for me, and now I'm going to step up my game and stick passes.
Call is upheld. Ohio State point. Buckeyes stretch the lead to 5. What's interesting is that Bertolino was second on the Jackets in serve receive percentage last year, so by no means is she a liability and the reason why Ohio State's attacking her. Another overpass leads to an Ohio State point.
You know, in the open, we talked about the emotional bounce back. So in the timeout, you're like, you got to know that the ball's coming to you, keep the ball off the net. But you look at Georgia Tech's 3 serve receive passers, Pimentel, Bergman, Bertolino. All 3 are money. You just have to pick one.
We'll rattle off the top of O'Keefe. Cross-court kill, Gabby Gonzalez. Has some concentration. Remember, if it hits the roof at O'Keefe, it is in play. That turned into a great pass. Off the metal shot.
Delivering a money bump set to the finisher, putting it away. Gonzalez to Ohio State, leading the way in that first set.
Georgia Tech timeout here in set number 1. Back in set number 1, Buckeyes on a 5-0 run. They've opened up a 14-7 edge over number 5 Georgia Tech. They put a lot of pressure on that service line. Bergman with the swing for the Jackets. Now Gonzalez off platform. Dug out by Bertolino. Otene will wind up.
Nice.
Pimentel the dig. Feeds Bergman. Bergman into the net. Boy, Georgia Tech is getting no room to breathe. And they're winding up.
Andy, when you can transition Gonzalez so low out of that just to create the scramble, this is the chaos, but it's the offense and transition attack of Ohio State that's stepping up today.
Service error by Riley Rader, the junior. Snaps that 6-0 Ohio State run. What do you think was part of the conversation for Michelle Collier during the timeout?
You just speak confidence because she knows her team. She knows she's got 3 passers on this court that can stick it. She just says, guys, remember, this is our practice gym. This is where you train all those reps. This is where you make it count.
Leah Harper, Nicole Drunick come into the rotation for the Yellow Jackets. Long dot, is it wide? It clips the line.
Coach Collier looking back to her bench. Was that in or out? And it was a clear Liz Patterson saying, Coach, that was in. Nice shot out of the back row. Showing tip and Londot taking it deep toward that line.
On down with her second kill of the set. Bertolino gets it off the edge of the block.
And a gamer like Bertolino, all she needs is one ball to get back into it. Her game is the tool, which is off the hands and deep. She loves to see blockers' hands because she knows how to attack it at an angle to work the point.
Olea Harper trying for the quick trigger. And a block from the middle by Moss.
You got the combination of two 6'2" blockers in front of you. Erin Moss, a senior, closing it off with her right side. Just heads up play, way to read it. Eyes down, recognizing Gonzalez was trying to take that cross court.
Makes it 16-10 Ohio State. Slide by Londot. And she cooks it long.
Londot hit that ball flat with the hand. She was expecting blockers to be there. It had no top spin, so when a player hits the ball that flat, you expect to get those blocking tool off the top.
Quick strike out of the middle. And it was Adria Powell, the senior, who snipes it for the Ohio State point to snap the 3-0 Georgia Tech run.
Fantastic pass on this ball. If you can get your middle involved, it's always a one-on-one situation against Georgia Tech as long as you keep that middle close to you. Very smart heads-up play by Quadrasa.
Bergman gets it off the hands.
You know, Andy, as you scout teams, you try to rotate so you get the right matchup. So you have Bergman with Londot, recognizing both coaches know that's where we need our block, that's where we need our offense. Two dominant players going at each other.
Pimentel sends it low into the net. And Londot and Bergman, couple of big hitters dueling this Sunday afternoon.
And you know when you need a point, it's hard not to go to Bergman about every ball if you're Georgia Tech, but you definitely need other players to get involved.
Back to Bergman. Diving dig by Murr. Back set, Harper, change of pace, and out of bounds.
You can see the need for other players to step up. Coach Flynn Oldenburg knows her players are playing really well, creating more scramble and chaos on the side of Georgia Tech.
Coach Flynn Oldenburg, her third season at the helm, former Ohio State letter winner. She told the Columbus Dispatch in the preseason, Sweet 16s are very nice. We're tired of nice.
Right.
And she certainly loaded up her non-conference schedule with that in mind. Bergman gets the tool and the point. And to really suspend in midair to make clean contact.
You know, so smooth with Bergman. She's on the Brazilian national team. She's used to seeing walls in front of her. She loves seeing the blocker's hand. It doesn't scare her. A lot of younger players, that intimidates when you see elbows above the net. Not Bergman. Works again, another tool.
We go back into serve. Block and the point, Otene with the meeting at the summit of Moore.
That was pretty amazing. So Otene recognized she was in a one-on-one blocking situation because Morissette, her middle, did not close. That's when you jump in on the hard cross-court shot, take the angle away.
Out of the middle and pounded down by Riley Rader. That is a silencer from the middle blocker.
You know, I'll be honest with you, Andy, I'm not really sure if there's an answer for that if you're Georgia Tech. That is so clean, smooth, with your second-team All-American putting it down.
Rader, unanimous first-team All-Big Ten a year ago. Was fifth in the nation in hitting percentage last year. She hit .433, but trying to redeem herself against Georgia Tech. That Sweet 16 matchup was held to .211. Bertolino feeds Bergman, change of pace, dug out by Murr. Moore winds up and finds the corner.
That's just fantastic volleyball that we're seeing on the Buckeye side. So the first ball in system, pushing it really fast because you know Moore can adjust. And then when you need to, throw up a high ball, Moore putting it down with authority.
Gives Janasia Moore a team-high 4 kills. Michelle Collier calls timeout. Ohio State leads 21-14 in our opening set. Ohio State and its season stopped in the Sweet 16 by Georgia Tech last year. 27 wins for Coach Flynn Oldenburg in a final ranking of number 11. A lot of veterans returning from that 2021 squad. And, well, they will be battle-tested, as we have said. Their 6th consecutive match versus a top 15 opponent. And, of course, when you have 5 Big Ten teams ranked in the top 10, Ohio State among them, there is not a ranking that will scare you.
That's right. Coach Flynn Oldenburg talks about the Big Ten. If in order to beat the best, you got to play the best. So this opening preseason weekend and multiple weekends in a row, she's just preparing her team for what's to come in the Big Ten. Loaded up because she's bringing back experience. If you look at her starting lineup, there are only juniors and seniors on the court, not a sophomore in sight.
Open up the season against number 1 Texas, and after an 0-3 start, that win over Louisville in 4 stamped a 24-match home win streak for the Cardinals. They hit 372 in that contest, and then sweeping BYU on Friday.
I just love Coach Flynn Oldenburg talked about how she wants to get over the Sweet 16 hump. And she understands it's a nice hump to be at, just like getting there, but wants to really break it, so loaded up that preseason schedule.
21-14 out of the timeout, lawned out the service. Otene steps into it and gets the point.
Otene throwing in an off-speed shot at the moving blocker Raider on the close. She's an outside hitter transfer, now has to adjust to that right side position, but extremely comfortable on the outside attack.
Otene, by way of Illinois State, where she was the Missouri Valley Conference Player of the Year last season. Joust at the net, points Ohio State. Just a little too much muscle on the side of the Buckeyes.
Yeah, when you have a 6'2" setter going up the overpass, block that. Podraza owning it. The last one usually wins. Podraza with the block.
Podraza, the senior from Sunbury, Ohio, 3rd-team ABCA All-American last year. Quick snipe from the middle by Breland Morissette, the senior.
You know, it's all about the bounce back. When you're playing top 10 competition, the sticking of the passes, Bertolino's working her game, and now you see this Georgia Tech offense getting the middles back involved.
Might be a little too late. The cross-court kill by Raider to put Ohio State within 2 of claiming set number 1.
Yeah, that's a nice matchup right there. A slide attack, one-on-one blocking situation. Raider going up. Watch how much court she has. Ability to cut it back on the setter, D'Amico. Yeah, you high-five each other. That's some good volleyball.
Ohio State up 241 hitting percentage this set. Raider out of Assumption High School, that volleyball powerhouse in Louisville. Had to feel good for her. Her team going up to Louisville and snapping the Cardinals' 24-match win streak at home. Bergman blocked. Had to reach for it from the back line, and it was smothered. Now set point Ohio State.
Fantastic block. Powell was all over that, but it started with a back row tip by Longdot to take Georgia Tech setter out. D'Amico was out of the offense and then throw up a high ball. That's a commit block situation on number 17, Bergman.
Bergman hitting 0 in this opening set. Quite a statement by the Buckeyes here as Georgia Tech will get the point to close to within 7.
You can feel Bertolino's frustration in that attack. She knows she can play better. This is her international experience, that bounce back we're talking about when you play at elite level. It's not about the last ball, it's about the next one. That was a great attack by Bertolino coming back.
Nicole Jernick, the Nebraska transfer, to put it in. And another block, closed down by Moss.
You love how low that set's coming off by Podraza. Watch how low this ball is. They're like, hey, we're either gonna get a kill or you're gonna block us. That time, Georgia Tech's Moss coming through with the block.
Another joust at the net, and this time it's Harper. See if Jen Flynn Oldenburg might call time to settle her troops down. It's a 5-point Ohio State lead, but a couple of shaky serve receives giving Georgia Tech life.
You're totally right. That first ball contact, Georgia Tech stepped up the service game, and their service he passed and is coming back.
They get the up on the back set. Bertolino outside the line, and Ohio State takes set number 1, 25-19. This Buckeye team would not be intimidated. They certainly played that way in set number 1, holding this prolific Georgia Tech offense to a 0 hitting percentage. Buckeyes up 1-0. Ohio State takes set 1, 25-19. This match, by the way, a homecoming for a pair of Buckeyes, Riley McNeil and Gabby Gonzalez, both natives of Marietta, Georgia. And the Buckeye volleyball team spent its off day going over to the McNeil's house in Marietta, which, if you look at the lower right, that also included a visit to the McNeil pet pig. And we are told the pet pig's name is Earl.
You know, how cute is that when you come down? Those are the type of experiences you remember for life. So it's nice to see Coach Flynn Oldenburg exposing your team, taking them to a player's house, and having a lifelong memory with that pig.
You know, if you went top left, top right, lower left, lower right, you're like, oh, this is nice. And then you see the lower right. But wait a second. I don't believe they named the pig Earl after Earl Bruce, the former Ohio State football coach. Just my guess. But this has to be a memorable weekend for her and Gabby Gonzalez, who won state championships and a national championship as high school teammates at Walton High in Marietta. Both seniors. Not recruited, by the way, as a package deal. It was Gonzalez who committed to Ohio State first, and then McNeil committed thereafter. But that was never the plan when they were playing together in high school, was to play in college at the same school.
Yeah, that's so nice because you go and you have like this instant sister that you know them, and you know, like if you need something, even that drive home, if you have a car, like that, just having that on your team is just special.
How does Georgia Tech regroup in set 2?
You know, that first ball contact. So Bertolino stepped up her game at the end of the first set. I expect her now to start sticking passes, taking a deep breath, getting loose, feeling the strength of this Buckeye serves and ready to step up.
Gonzalez with the service and an air to begin set number 2.
And the strategy has not changed. So Gonzalez was gearing, just gunning for Bertolino down that line.
Gonzalez not only playing a team from her home area earlier this year when Ohio State went to Texas as a service error in return by the Jackets. Gonzalez played her dad's alma mater. He played football at UT.
You know, that's special when you got some athletes in the family.
Yeah. Bergman from a standstill, and it catches the corner. That is some All-American stuff by Julia Bergman.
Yeah, throw her ball up. You can see her face locked in a little more like, hey, any scramble ball, I'm going to find the court with my ability in ball control placement.
Tech was there on the quick set out of the middle. Capped up, over by London, and it turns into a point. That scramble goes the way of the Buckeyes.
You know, there's a saying in volleyball. It says, when in doubt, take the setter out. When you just have a free ball, a scramble, you try to put the ball and make the setter play the first ball. That's all London did in this ball. So he said, hey, D'Amico, where is she? I'm going to try to make her play this first ball. That's how you get a free ball to drop.
Emily London will have some thunderous kills this season. That will probably not be at the top of the list, but a point is a point. Sometimes you got to have a little cleverness in your game as well. ABCA honorable mention All-America a year ago, the junior from Utica, Ohio. And a serve at 2-2. Gonzalez, change of pace falls for her.
The finesse out of the back row. Gonzalez, the same location on the court she's going for that we saw Londot, just going that right side short, trying to create a little chaos. But I'll tell you what, Andy, it's the first ball contact. The last 3 attacks have gone to the back row with Bergman. You're not going to win if Bergman's getting every single ball in the back row because your passing is breaking down. You've got to get other players involved against his Buckeye block and defense.
Pimentel beats Bertolino. Just like you said, she loves the kill off the tool, and she evens it at 3.
You know, Bertolino is one of my favorite players to watch. She's so consistent emotionally. I know she's frustrated with her passing game, but stepping it up on the attack.
Trying to dump on 2. Oh, one-handed dig over by Bertolino. Londot tries to change speed. Transition ball for the Jackets. Bergman cranks it cross court for the kill.
That's that 6-5 advantage for Bergman. You don't have to go fast, just give it high and inside. Let her get a visual where this block in. You give her court, that ball is going to the floor.
7th kill for the senior from Munich, Germany, who represents Brazil internationally. Moved to Brazil at age 11. Jackets smother the quick set. 5-3. Much more crisp start to set number 2 for Georgia Tech.
That was the right idea. It was a double over, like a middle was running right where the outside hitter, but the blockers for Georgia Tech all over that Raider swing.
Oh, Londot overreaches. Could not get in sync on the back row attack. Georgia Tech has its largest lead of the match.
Getting her rhythm back is Bertolino on this service line, feeling comfortable. That's how you bounce back from one set to the next.
Londot winds up, and they say it was in. Georgia Tech with all arms in the air, and I think that is going to be overruled from up high.
Coach Flynn Oldenburg talked about with her players, like, I want them to play loose and aggressive. You're seeing these nice swings, just this one missing a couple inches long on that attack.
Jen Flynn Oldenburg will use her challenge here. Early momentum shift potentially with this challenge. 7-3 Georgia Tech. The call was overturned, and so on the court it was ruled a Tech point. We'll see if the replay offers anything different. See Georgia Tech, all their players, yeah, looks pretty much out. Showed a lot of conviction. Oh, today, Pimentel, Bertolino on that back line, but it was long.
Yeah, in this O'Keefe gym, if you see any blue between the ball and the white line, that means that ball was out. So, and you saw the rotation. Londot hit the ball really flat. That type of contact, you're going for a deep shot. If the ball doesn't have top spin, a lot of times it takes off with air and drops out of bounds.
Angelino bailed on it last moment. Hard to see any angle that offers anything definitive enough to overturn the call. And that is the case. There is challenging your team in non-conference play, and then there's what Jen Flynn Oldenburg is doing.
Right.
And next weekend they play Tennessee and Pittsburgh before they begin Big Ten play on the road at Iowa and then at number 2 Nebraska. They may set a record for the highest strength of schedule of any team ever in college volleyball. Pimentel, high ball for Bergman, and it's smothered.
All over that. You got Raider with almost a solo. Great vision getting down on that. Her setter setting that up. Podraza with the block close. That's the right idea, though. You like to see some good volleyball. You just have to shake it off, say, hey, that was a good block, and bounce back if you're Bergman.
Sarah Sue Morbitzer, the junior. Long dot, cross court.
Long dot on the backcourt swing, recognize, yeah, I hit the ball a little flat. Let me put a little more top spin on this to go to that deep corner shot. That's just a go-to player that wants to be the closer, that wants the ball when her team needs a side out.
Ohio State has had some very good attack distribution so far. Bergman tools it and gets the point. Had to swing from a sharp angle, but she got that off the inside hand.
You know, people always wonder what's the difference between an immature player and a mature player, and it's all about the bounce back and recovery. So Bergman on the previous attack got blocked, and then she says, hey, give me the ball, and then work the tool to get the point. Nice job.
Bertolino flying in from the back row. And the sophomore from Argentina hammers it down to put Tech ahead by 4.
This is why playing the emotional roller coaster is not Bertolino's game. She's like, yep, settled in. I can step up my game. So solid and steady. Back row attack. We haven't seen that much this year. Nice to see Georgia Tech using that in her tool bag.
More of a finesse swinger, but she can put some thump into it as well. Bergman, we know she's got thump. Joust at the net. Bergman keeps it over. Diving dig from the back by Bertolino. Bergman again. And tapped over. Breland Morissette saw the open spot. And now Georgia Tech gathering confidence. O'Keefe Gymnasium knows it.
Your grad student, Breland Morissette, back for her 5th year, says, hey, I know I don't go directly into a setter. Let me redirect it and find the open court.
And timeout, Ohio State. 3-0 run for Georgia Tech. After conceding the first set, they've opened up the 5-point lead in set number 2. Back at O'Keefe Gymnasium, Julia Bergman, Georgia Tech's first-team All-American in 18 years last fall, and in the spotlight tonight.
Yeah, you got Bergman carrying the way, but it's been performance of Bertolino offensively, hitting 600 right now, helping Georgia Tech's offense.
Ohio State looks to regroup following the timeout. Bergman slapped over, joust at the net. Trickles on the tape. Ohio State gets the points on the net violation.
You know, Podraza, 10 on your screen, so dominant as a 6'2 setter. She holds her own on the block and then lives for the overpasses because as a setter, you know exactly where to go to place your feet.
And Mac Podraza, 2-time first-team All-Big Ten. Georgia Tech hitting 357 this set. As we said, set 1, they hit 0. How have you seen Michelle Collier's team adjust where they're finishing more efficiently?
You see the serve receive pass for Georgia Tech is completely picked up. D'Amico's at the net actually running an offense, number 10 right there, getting middles involved. You got Bertolino out of the back row. It's just more attackers than what we saw in the first set when it was like almost purely Bergman.
Whatever explanation she got after that last point may not have sat totally well with her. Ohio State defending the slide. Gonzalez off the inside hand of the block for the point.
You can see that matchup Ohio State wants. You got Gonzalez swinging over setter D'Amico. They're working the line shot. Watch this line shot over the setter, working this open spot on the court. That was a great swing by Gonzalez.
Otene flying in and getting it deep.
You have not one, but you have not 2. You have 3 back row attackers you have to be concerned about defending this Georgia Tech attacks. Otene putting one down, ripping it.
Native of Auckland, New Zealand to make it 11-7 Tech. Isabella D'Amico hails from just outside Columbus in Westerville, Ohio. on the service line for the Jackets. Ohio State gets the point in Gonzalez. Although we didn't hear from Isabella D'Amico before today's match, in spite of growing up 15 minutes outside Columbus, actually never went to an Ohio State volleyball camp growing up.
Yeah, that's special, but when you go to their matches, you see the level you want to play at. Still creating that type of role model ideas, because D'Amico is now a role model of her own.
Speaking of volleyball role models, Julia Bergman pounds another one down.
Bergman is just so smooth. When you give her a seam, because D'Amico set that ball no higher than the antenna, with a late block close, Bergman's going to win through a seam.
Bergman with her 9th kill. Gonzalez rips it. Gabby Gonzalez, the Marietta, Georgia native, to make it a 3-point set.
This setting recovery by Podraza, just going low and going fast when she had a flat pass. Beautiful set going out to Gonzalez.
Ohio State starting to play cleaner now. Net violation. Ohio State gets the point, now within 2. After they trailed by as many as 5 in this second set.
Way to identify the setter was back row. Long dot, instead of trying to avoid D'Amico, she attacked her, and that's a back row attack by Georgia Tech.
Pimentel racing over, keeps it up. D'Amico pops it long. Transition no for Ohio State. Long dot blocked. Bertolino and Morissette. Well, I tell you what, Keely, Ohio State had that queued up exactly where they wanted. Transition ball to their All-American lawn dot, but Georgia Tech was there.
Yeah, the layout, the scramble, when you know you're getting a free ball. I was betting the lawn dot getting this ball. Bertolino with the setup and block. Showing out in this second set is Bertolino's game.
Bianca Bertolino not necessarily known for her blocking. Got that on London. And a service long by Morissette.
You know, that's 2 in a row by Morissette. I know she wants that one back, but at the net, blocking-wise, really doing a good job. So it's one of those things. Let her miss the serve because she's showing up at the net.
Bertolino line shot, and she gets it.
If you watch Bertolino's game as a young player, you just want to model yourself, because she does an excellent job seeing block and hitting the angle. She's looking for a shot away from the court, saying, hey, I'm just trying to catch the fingers, get that geometry angle so the next contact's out of bounds.
Bertolino once more, and she gets the point. Putting some smoke on that swing down the line. But it's a great point that you make, because it's like in baseball, not everybody needs to throw 99 miles per hour. Sometimes those craftsmen can get it done.
And exactly, and you saw Londot drop her hands because she recognized she was getting tooled all day. So that's just good heads-up play by Londot. But Gonzalez, ball's going out of bounds, still trying to make the play.
And Georgia Tech back out to a 5-point lead on the Otene Ace.
You gotta love top 10 volleyball in front of you.
Bertolino getting back to her. It's like a relief pitcher who only throws 93, but's got the curveball, has got the changeup, and still just baffles hitters. You don't always need to be cracking the radar gun to be an effective hitter. 16-12 Jackets following the service error. Slide attack, Jackets get the point, and Moss on the go behind with D'Amico.
Look at the servicing passing game. D'Amico, setter number 10, is at the net. She's got Erin Moss working that slide attack. She has go-to hitters now. She's settling in to running her offense.
Back set. Otene there to defend the cross-court kill, and Georgia Tech gets it off the hands to extend the lead to 6. Erin Moss, once again, the senior from Valdosta, Georgia, and it forces an Ohio State timeout.
Watch the decision-making. Ritter is like, oh, do I go out to Bergman or stay home for the transition middle attack? Nice job, D'Amico, going to her middle.
Aaron Moss, preseason All-ACC middle blocker, makes it an 18-12 Georgia Tech lead in set number 2. Georgia Tech, it has been a team effort offensively, Keely. 476 in the second set to 174 for Ohio State. Ohio State maybe not the kind of efficiency in set number 2 that we saw in set 1.
Yeah, and you're seeing players like Aaron Moss stepping up her game. You know, I remember she getting recruited, and Georgia Tech didn't look so hot, almost like set 1. But she saw the vision, she saw the hope of what Coach Collier was building, and now you see second set, just an elevation of the game.
Now Moss third in the ACC in hitting percentage last year. 7th in school history in single season hitting percentage for Michelle Collier. As these teams meet once again for the first time since last year's Sweet 16 in Louisville, which Georgia Tech took in straight sets. At the end of the season, Keely, Ohio State was number 2 in the nation in assists per set. Georgia Tech was number 1. Last year, Ohio State number 2 in the nation in kills per set. Georgia Tech was number 1. So you knew that was going to be a heavy hitting Sweet 16 showdown. And see Claudio Pinheiro, Georgia Tech assistant coach. The Jackets held Ohio State in that Sweet 16 match to just 142. They really brought it defensively.
Yeah, that's a coach right there that's helped build the program with those numbers, Andy. 2 Olympic gold medals with the Brazilian national team. I would say he knows what he's doing as well.
He's very modest about those Olympic gold medals. Layout by Pimentel, but it caught a plank, and Ohio State gets the point.
You always watch body language after a ball drop. So Pimentel 8 on your screen, laid out for the pancake, and then there was no argument after the referee called that ball down.
Another sellout here at O'Keefe Gymnasium. They've sold out every match this year for the number 5 Yellow Jackets. You can really trace their ascendance under Michelle Collier to 2019, when a lot of people felt they were snubbed for the NCAA tournament. They turned around, made a statement, and ran roughshod through the NIVC. Earned an NCAA tournament appearance in that 2020-2021 season, and then a Sweet 16 appearance last fall. Bergman covered well by the Buckeyes, and Gonzalez gets it off the top of the hand.
I love what Coach Flynn Oldenburg talked about. Gonzalez 8 on your screen. She just does everything well. You know, nothing too spectacular, but everything, she can just play the game. She attacks with intelligence. She knows where to set up on the block. She can stick passes. So complete game you're looking at in Gabby Gonzalez.
Team high 6 kills for Gonzalez, along with 8 digs and 3 assists. Serve long by Morbitzer.
Gotta love end of the set to where every point counts. These are 2 female coaches in the game of volleyball, building successful programs and the mentality to fight for every point.
Well, we've had 3 tremendous female head coaches here at the Georgia Tech Classic. Can't forget about Heather Olmstead of BYU. Georgia Tech scrambling to keep it up. Slide attack again, dug out by Otene. Pushed over by D'Amico. Ohio State trying to get the kill. Instead, they get it blocked for the point. Georgia Tech was scrambling that entire rally, but they stretch it to 20.
This is Georgia Tech volleyball right here. Passing game is on. The scramble, the grit. Solo blocks, no problem. Breland Morissette stuffing it down.
That is just a deflating sequence if you're Ohio State, and an enlivening one for Georgia Tech. Morissette, like you said, the solo block. Georgia Tech's leader in that category. But it looked like Ohio State had put the pressure on Georgia Tech that entire rally. Couldn't get the point, though.
You know, this is figuring each team out. You're in the second set. You know the tendencies in serve-receive. You got to come up with something different, because Georgia Tech is figuring out this offense for BYU. Watch. Ohio State.
Long dot. Out. Trying to snipe it down the line. Jackets have their largest lead of the second set.
You know, this is typical international offense you're seeing with Ohio State, going a stack in front of you and then relying on Londa in that back attack.
Pimentel into the net for Georgia Tech. It's funny you mentioned like an international offense for Ohio State, but it's Georgia Tech that has the international roster. You had Pimentel and Bergman, both from Brazil, Bertolino, Argentina, Otene, New Zealand. And it is Otene trying to go cross court but wide.
Exactly right. So the international game, you use a lot of your back row attackers. The highest money maker is the right side overseas because it's the third attacker at all times. So you're seeing 2 right back attacks back to back. These are coaches that know the next level of volleyball really showing up today.
The attack here closes the margin to 5. BYU took the first, Ohio, now you got me doing it.
I know.
Ohio State took the first set 25-19. They, of course, the other team in the Georgia Tech Classic. Bergman, the cut shot, and it falls.
Bergman wanting the inside cut shot, recognizing it was open. This one was just a friendly hop at the net. Her ball had enough top spin. Watch this angle, guys. Gosh, 6'5", trying to crack it. Still kept it in.
Finessed down the line by Gonzalez.
You know, a lot of times with Big Ten volleyball, the game is high, just high balls. But you see Coach Flynn Oldenburg with her players. She knows the setter-hitter combination is there, so why not go fast and create a moving blocking situation for a player like Gonzalez to be successful.
Trying to urge on Georgia Tech to evening this match, a set apiece in front of this sellout crowd on a Sunday afternoon. Great showcase all weekend for volleyball here at Georgia Tech. Out of the middle, and a thunderous swing by Morissette for the point.
Much like we saw in the first set for Ohio State, you get your middles involved, it opens everything up. Fantastic pass by Pimentel. Going to grad student Morissette, 5th year, saying, hey, I want to win in my gym.
Breland Morissette had to wait her turn. Second team All-ACC a year ago, and her first extended, consistent action in her career. She has been invaluable for Michelle Collier. Pimentel puts it on a platter for Bergman, but she cannot find the corner.
You know, that's the right idea. Major swing, working the right back attack, identifying setter Pedraza is in the back row. So either way she plays the ball, you take her out of the offense.
Julia Bergman hit 400 in that win over BYU on Thursday. 10 kills, but only 094.
This is a good time in your offense to get your right side. Otene, the ball, number 9 on your screen if you get a pass.
See if they oblige. 23-18. Overpass off the set. Easy pickings out of the middle for Ohio State. That was Londot.
This is what Ohio State wanted. You got Gabby Gonzalez on that service line. She's been able to create runs for her team. So a smart timeout taken to regroup her players is Coach Collier.
You know, Ohio State ripped off 2 separate 5-0 runs in that first set. So they have been able to string it together in this match versus the Jackets, which is why Michelle Collier calls time. Or was there a challenge card brandished by Georgia Tech's head coach?
You know, I didn't see Coach Collier walk over for the challenge, but this is definitely questioning if there was a net violation on Londot as she swung on that overpass.
Looks pretty clean from there.
Yeah, I did not see any net violation, but
I think pretty quick review. It'll stay the Buckeyes' point. Yeah.
So for Georgia Tech, the side-out game is all about the pass, right? So you have a 4-hitter situation. You got 3 in the front row. Of course, if Bergman does not pass the ball, she's your 4th attacker. I think Otene needs to get the ball.
Tamara Otene, just 2 kills in this match. Does have 4 digs. 494 kills last year for Illinois State en route to first team All-Missouri Valley Conference honors, and a sought-after commodity in the transfer portal. And with the service here by the Buckeyes, Georgia Tech is on set point.
Sometimes all you need is a little delay. Coach Collier using her challenge card at the right time just to freeze the server.
Liz Patterson to serve as she subs in for the serve. Londot says, not yet.
How pretty was that set? Going forward, Pedraza just having trust that her junior All-American was going to show up and crack a ball.
D'Amico, quick set, into the net, and Georgia Tech takes set number 2. 25-19 Buckeyes in the first. Georgia Tech rallies and claims the second, 25-20. Every bit the showdown that we suspected heading into O'Keefe Gymnasium tonight between number 5 Georgia Tech and number 8 Ohio State. We are all level for 2. Sold out crowd inside O'Keefe Gymnasium as we get set for set number 3. Let's take a look at how the All-Americans have fared. Emily Londot for Ohio State, Julia Bergman for Georgia Tech.
Yeah, just solid games. The hitting percentage is low, all because each team knows who they're going to commit on. When the ball's up, you're finding Londot if you're Georgia Tech. Ball's up, you're finding number 17 Bergman for Ohio State. So collectively as a whole, good performances, but each other, they're committing on the block.
Bergman her third 20-kill match of the season versus BYU. Londot, meanwhile, a double-double versus BYU on Friday. 13 kills, 12 dings. Also had a double-double versus Texas to begin the season.
You know, Andy, this third set, it's the passing game. So you're going to see if the setter for Ohio State, Pedraza, is at the net, that means Ohio State probably is going to put some balls down. Same with Georgia Tech. If D'Amico's at the net, that's going to be a good offense.
Isabella D'Amico for Georgia Tech, 16 assists through the first 2 sets. Bergman set for the service, and we're underway in set 3 as she tries to drop it short and instead puts it into the net.
Yeah, Bergman just not happy with her hand contact on that, but she's the type of player, she can shake it off faster than probably anybody in this gym.
Spent this summer with the Brazil senior national team. Pimentel, you tried tying your shoelaces with 1,200 sets of eyes on you. And now the other number 8 for the Buckeyes, Gabby Gonzalez, to put it in. And that's an error for her. I believe we also had service errors from each side to begin the second set. In the third set following form.
Yeah, you definitely can feel nerves happening in this third set like it's anybody's game.
Londot from the pin, dug by D'Amico and sent over, but a net violation. It goes to the Jackets.
Just so fast off her feet. Erin Moss going up, recognizing, hey, the ball's at the net. I'm going to just send it to open court.
That's a violation on me. Thought there was a violation. Instead, a clean point for Erin Moss. Jackets open the 2-1 lead. Londot from a standstill. Otene has to lunge for it. Now back to Londot as she cranks it. The dig by Bergman. Otene again, pounds it down.
That's Otene's game right there. Give me it nice and low. Let me go fast off the last 2 steps. Watch out this little line she got. She took it as soon as the ball arrived.
Snapped it right past the left hand of Janasia Moore. And Ohio State challenging the call.
I think on the previous attack by Londot, they might be checking for a net violation on the Georgia Tech block. That's the only thing I can really think of that could have caused a difference in the point. I think it's on the previous attack. That last one, though, you love to see a hitter taking advantage of a line shot when they see it in the vision.
How do you see Tamara Otene fitting into this system and this offense and the personnel Michelle Kelly has? Because last year, obviously, at Illinois State, she was the offense. How do you see her being a good fit for this year's Georgia Tech volleyball team?
Well, you know, she came to Georgia Tech. You got Mariana Brambila, first-team All-American. When Ohio State played Georgia Tech in that Final 16, Brambila led the show. So those not only are big shoes to fill, but you do it with such authority. I love her game. I think D'Amico's really doing a good job figuring it out. But you know one thing, Andy, D'Amico's a new starting setter to this rotation, so it's not like Maddie McKissick has been setting that right side. It's like a fresh start. D'Amico, Otene really finding that rhythm together.
And can't forget about D'Amico replacing the four-year starter in Maddie McKissick. And McKissick and Brambila both played outstanding in that Sweet 16 matchup versus the Buckeyes. All right, this was the one before the kill. Was there a net violation on the combination of Bertolino and Moss?
Yeah, what you're going to see, Bertolino's arms go up and her forearms will catch the bounce of the net as she comes down. Elevation, penetration, net bounce. When the ball clears the net and the attacker clears the net, that can only be the blockers getting the net violation.
See if this call gets overturned, in which case it would nod us at 2.
So you got Coach Flynn Oldenburg smiling all around. She really encourages the player to enjoy the game. Why do you play? Because of the love of the game. You can see it all over her face, just really enjoying being out there supporting her team.
The call gets overturned, and we're back level at 2. Bergman in, Point Tech.
How clean can you be on that attack? That was like a straight line shot. That is control by Bergman. Huge swing out of the back row, going to the left. And that was a little tongue shot, like, yeah, that was pretty good by Kylie Murr.
Julia Bergman just dotted it into the net, though, by Otene, and we're back tied at 3.
This is what you build for. You know you got conference play ahead of you. You got Big Ten with top 5. In the Big Ten has 5 of the top 10 rankings.
Ohio State with the opportunity on the transition. They try to dump on 2. Bergman takes a swing from the back. Moore lunges for it. Kept up by Moss. And now Bertolino, crafty through the block for the point.
You know, so smooth. Bertolino became an outside hitter when she came to Georgia Tech. She was a libero for the Argentina national team, and she said, oh yeah, Georgia Tech wants me to play in the front row. I know how to work hands. I got ball control.
Bertolino up to 7 kills on top of her 6 digs. Now, she'd only been hitting 129 entering today, Keeley. Last year hit 256 en route, turning freshman All-ACC honors. She's selected preseason All-ACC. That hitting percentage, not what she wants, at least at this stage in the season.
Yeah, she knows teams are gunning for her, but she's well-rounded of like complete game and can trust her teammates for other offense. But her comeback today is definitely the story to help the Georgia Tech team come back.
Jordan with the jackets up, but a brief lead at that. Climbing the ladder out of the middle. It was Rader.
The way you beat height is with speed. Rader going up and beating the block on the close. You've got to love fast, intense volleyball led by a great setter in Pedraza.
Pedraza with an 18th assist. Slide attack, and it's blocked. Closed down by Gabby Gonzalez.
She just does the little things correct. Watch the lineup. She sets up, recognizing that ball was inside, just blocks with penetration. Gonzalez with the solo.
Gives Ohio State the lead at 5-4. It's a hot day in Atlanta. It's a full house at O'Keefe Gymnasium. You know these players are leaving everything on the court, so and expect a few more stoppages here to mop up the perspiration than we had in sets 1 and 2. Gonzalez cross court, diving dig Pimentel. Oh, but it was mishit by D'Amico. Ohio State the point. Buckeyes lead 6-4.
Great read by Pimentel to pick up that first dig. Just watch this dig, guys. Coming out, just the discipline, ready to go to her left. A little miscommunication of a box out with her middle. D'Amico just unexpected make that mistake.
It looked like D'Amico was caught between the normal two-hand set and the bump set. Kind of ate her up. 3-0 Ohio State run. Diving dig from the back by Morbitzer. Great defense at the pin by the Buckeyes. Gonzalez winds up and gets the point.
You know, the difference we're seeing against BYU, there was a 5'9" setter, right? Now you have Pedraza, a 6'2" setter in front of Bergman on the block, causing the chaos, getting block touches. Good job.
And it turns into a Georgia Tech timeout. 7-4 Buckeyes early in the third. Mac Pedraza, the senior setter, featuring early in the third for Ohio State. Now for the Buckeyes to a 7-4 lead out of the Georgia Tech timeout. Bergman cranks it high in the air off the support beam. Gonzalez cross court. Pimentel the dig. Kept over. And it turned into an Ohio State point.
Great dig out of the back row, all over the place, but just not enough on that free ball send over. That's a ball you definitely want back, but overall, good volleyball with digs.
Subs for Michelle Collier, Leah Harper, Nicole Drunick come in. Now a 5-0 Ohio State run. Kind of similar to how we saw the first set play out, where Georgia Tech a little shaky on first ball contact, maybe not getting in rhythm on their swings at the net that they want. And even though Ohio State's not getting aces, they are putting pressure in the service game to cause Georgia Tech to be out of sorts. Bergman crushes it. Sometimes when you have an All-American, it doesn't matter.
Beating her when she has vision around the block. That ball was set about 5 feet off. That actually gives her a deeper shot to look at. She said, hey, I'm going to go one-on-one right at you, Kylie Murr. But I'll be honest with you, Kylie Murr's been digging it up in that left back.
Yeah. Seniors played with the U.S. Collegiate National Team this summer. Gonzalez. And she gets it. Gabby Gonzalez has been very steady for Ohio State tonight. A 9th kill for the Marietta, Georgia native.
Half the battle is just knowing where the spot is open on the court. Gabby Gonzalez looks like she was going cross court, takes that hand line, makes Bertolino in middle back, make a move to her right.
Gonzalez once again changes the arm speed. And it turns into an Ohio State point.
Just the scramble. So long dot on Ohio State side, picking up a nice swing off of Bertolino in the back row. The scrambles, the effort, all around. You've got to pay attention to the details, because in matches like this, the details matter.
Now 6-1 Ohio State run. And make it 7-1 on the ace.
You know, when Coach Flynn Oldenburg put her team together, recognized, you know, Raider going back on that service ace, it's now or never. I am senior led. I have juniors that are strong, have experience. It is go time, and you're seeing that coming out in the third set for the Buckeyes.
Gut check time for the Jackets. Midway through the third. Bergman has to set it over to Harper. Harper with the cut shot into the net. And it is all Ohio State right now in the third.
Is this first ball contact? Raider doing a great job just sticking a hard serve on the first ball, not connecting clean. Harper was trying to go for a hard shot, just wasn't there.
Oh, off the net and down for the ace, and everything falling for Ohio State now. They're up 8. And that prompts another Georgia Tech timeout. Impressive response by the Buckeyes after they conceded the second set. 13-5 Ohio State over the 5th-ranked Jackets.
You know, Raider 24 Ohio State. She's been quiet offensively. The ball she's getting, producing on the offense, but it's the service game. When you have a complete game, you can step it up in the leadership role and really putting a nice run together on the service line as Raider.
And stretch it out against the Jackets. Well, much like the first set, Ohio State holding Georgia Tech to a negative hitting percentage. Just not a lot of openings for the Yellow Jackets offensively.
And you see the time that D'Amico set up for Georgia Tech, trying to get her middle involved, just not getting that connection. If Georgia Tech can run that middle attack, that will hold the block to of course, open up that pin attack by Bertolino, Bergman, Otene that are dominant, but you have to set the middle to keep the block honest.
That's about as forceful as you will see Michelle Collier huddling her team. 10th-year head coach of the Jackets, former decorated hitter in her day at USF. And this weekend, Keely, the Georgia Tech Classic, you got 3 top 10 programs duking it out, all playing one another. Michelle told us before the weekend, this was the fulfillment of something that I have wanted to do at Georgia Tech for a long time. Have the type of caliber of competition come into your building. And so to see it come to fruition is a testament to what she has built over her 10 years at Georgia Tech, and especially the last several years. Bergman measures it, got the dig instead. Bertolino trying to keep it up. Is it punched over enough? No. And again, it's that first ball contact that's not allowing a lot of easy swings for the Jackets.
I mean, Bergman thumped it, but Raider came back with an even better dig. Number 20 on your screen, you just earned your team that point.
Buckeyes are fired up right now, leading by 9. Bergman finds the soft spot.
You know how fun is that for Bergman to recognize, okay, I'm not going to go hard. Let me take a little off because I have the respect of the defenders to sit back on their heels. That's just a heads-up play by Bergman.
13th kill, leads all players tonight. Dipping serve by D'Amico. Gonzalez has it rejected. Might that be the smelling salts the Jackets need in this third set?
When you're so fast laterally like Morissette, watch her close, adjust and just close on this. Heads up play, recognizing Gonzalez was taking that ball cross court. Great job on that block, Morissette.
The third block of the contest. Gonzalez, and she cooks it long.
You know, Moravitzer on the pass has been sticking everything. This one was slightly off. That caused Bergman to go over to give Gonzalez a triple block. Gonzalez was just trying to avoid that block.
Long dot, long again, and now Georgia Tech starting to string together a run 4-0 to make it 14-9.
You know, Coach Flynn Oldenburg seeing a run by Georgia Tech, looking at her players and saying, nope, I trust them. I'm going to keep them running on this.
They've earned quite a bit of trust. D'Amico plays it to Bergman for another kill. And this time, Clint Oldenburg might be looking for a timeout. And she will indeed use one. Georgia Tech right back in it. They've strung together a 4-0 run. The kill by Bergman makes it 14-10 here in the third.
Bergman's ability to work smarter, not harder, just keeps her rolling on the offense. The last 2 kills, you know if you're transition attacking with Bergman with the finisher, that ball's going to the floor and that creates the run for Georgia Tech.
See how this match is played out from a hitting percentage standpoint. Georgia Tech swung at a 400 clip in the second, 0-43 here in the third. Has been the more consistent of the 2 teams.
You know, in the third set, you identify that these teams, high level, very smart volleyball players, they're figuring each other out. So you see in the third set, everything's dropping because the committing and serve-receive rotations that's happening, recognizing what the tendencies are for both setters. So that's just smart volleyball that we're watching today with defenses stepping up their game.
That's a mark of a mature team. You hit on that perfectly. Just the ability to make those adjustments, to smell out the tendencies.
Because in the first set, it's all about the scouting report. That's why you watch so much video in practice. You watch it as a team, coach breaks it down. After the first set, it becomes how smart are you as a volleyball player. Scouting reports out the door once you settle in, learn each other, and then just try to beat each other's game like chess.
And you got to make those snap decisions on the court. D'Amico with the service off the Ohio State timeout. Pimentel cannot range underneath it. Stops the 5-0 Georgia Tech run.
Gabby Gonzalez on her attack out of a timeout. She said, hey, I don't want any other defender to play this ball but setter D'Amico. I'm going to make the setter play it, take him out of the offense if she happens to dig it. Off-speed shot. Great job by Gonzalez taking the setter out.
Yeah, just took something off. Gonzalez up to 11 kills. And a dozen the other day versus BYU. Led the Buckeyes in kills last year. Had 9 double-doubles in 2021. And 8 versus the Jackets in the NCAA tournament.
So bad news for Georgia Tech. Even though that was good news, it was a misserve. You get the point. The bad news, you got long dot back in your front row for Ohio State. So you watch Pedraza work her some long dot.
They go to Gonzalez instead, but it's blocked. Morissette once more.
Morissette recognizes I'm going against a flat ball. I got to go fast. There's no hesitation on that. Gonzalez going for the cross-court shot. Breland Morissette with the close.
Tech was once down 9. They've closed to 3. Gonzalez hits it long. Boy, now it's the first ball contact for Ohio State that's gotten uneven.
You know, after you get blocked twice, that's when you just clap it off and you say, hey, this is just high-level volleyball. Good volleyball, and then you bounce back. But Georgia Tech just showing that intimidation on the front line.
Long bump sent to Gonzalez. Oh, and Georgia Tech thought they had that queued up nicely for a transition. Instead, Ohio State earns the point.
Yeah, again, the attack going to D'Amico for Georgia Tech, just deep down that line. You have 6'5" Bergman with the recovery. She can just extend in one step and play that defensive ball. D'Amico definitely wants to give that ball up and say, hey, Bergman, just take the next one.
On dot. Hits the fingers. Ohio State gets the point.
This is the matchup the Buckeyes should expose right now. You got Longdot over Bertolino on this right side. Attack. That's a good matchup with as soon as Longdot gets her extension.
And Long On the serve, Pimentel had to do the limbo, get out of the way of it. 17-14.
It's all about nerves right now, Andy. You can feel it settling in. Just one player on the team look at each other and say, hey, guys, let's do it. Still anybody's match.
Otene. Jackets reload, cross court, Bertolino, and she hits it wide.
So you're gonna watch in this is that long dot dropped her hands. That is high-level volleyball IQ. Watch the blocker saying, hey, look at no jump going, I know your game, Bertolino. This is the third set type of volleyball. Figuring each other out. I'm not gonna put my hands there for you to tool because your game is working my hands. So long dot wins the play for her team.
That's that hidden thing that what makes such a difference in a match. 18-14 Buckeyes and serving. Long dot. Jackets get the block touch, and now Otene. Oh, the dump and the point. And Ohio State has steadied itself. The Buckeyes back on top by 5.
Long dot picking up the first dig, putting a money ball up for her setter, and that's when you're out of system. With off the net, that's a fantastic time to force your middle. Good job, Pedraza, going to Raider.
Oh, Georgia Tech cranking it up the middle. Aaron Moss. Wow. Quick off her feet.
It's the serve receive pass for Georgia Tech in system. Georgia Tech has 5 attackers, but you've got to find Aaron Moss and Morissette when they're in the front row. Nice finish with Moss.
Tech trailed by 9 in this set. They closed to 2 at 15-13. Now chasing 4 points. Otene with the service. Janasia Moore. That's the tool and the point.
Just call it a volleyball feeling right now. I feel like Moore is about to get more balls because the matchup's in her favor. You got D'Amico as her blocker. I'm giving Moore a lot of balls if I'm Pedraza in that front row.
5th kill for the senior from Germantown, Maryland. Free ball for Ohio State. They get another one. That's Raider. I'll give Ohio State a lot of credit, Keela. They have responded.
Yeah, completely. You got Pedraza taking a tight ball, keeping the ball off the net, even if the blocker touched it, and just having that trust between her and Raider for the put away over the block tip.
Man, subdued this O'Keefe Gymnasium crowd, which was rocking as Georgia Tech got back in it. Bertolino off the hands for the point.
So using the block is a skill, and Bertolino's almost perfected it. Going up and said, hey, if you move a little bit, I'm gonna get that angle, and the ball is gonna finish with my point.
Bertolino closing on a double-double, 8 kills, 10 digs. Long dot having to lunge for it. Pimentel with the diving dig. Bertolino sends it over from the back. There's Moore again, and she gets it. Line shot.
That's a really good matchup for the Buckeyes right now. In system, going nice and fast. Good news for Georgia Tech, Moore's going to the bench because that's 2 for 2 on the kills.
Ohio State hitting 226 this third set, and 3 points away from taking a 2-1 lead. They snapped Louisville's 24-match home win streak last Sunday, their first non-conference win ever versus a top 3 opponent. They might have the most deceiving 2-3 record in the history of college volleyball.
Yeah, just so solid. Georgia Tech on their serve receive game. This is what you're going to need. If this match goes one more set, Georgia Tech will have to continue to stick past this, get number 23 the ball.
Moss up to 7 kills on top of 3 blocks. Oh, off the net and down. Pimentel will take that.
This is a really good blocking formation. So Pimentel on the service line, you got Bergman in the front row, Morissette on the block. This is a rotation you need to push points if you're Georgia Tech.
Gonzalez gets it off the hands.
You know, I love what Coach Flynn Oldenburg is doing. So in the Big Ten, they're known for high power games. So usually sets are higher, but you can see the tempo being pushed. It's like a lower set out to the outside, causing a moving block. So encouraging your setter, Podraza, to work the speed of her ball.
Podraza been running the show deftly. Bergman wide, and is now set point for Ohio State.
The emotional and mental endurance you need through the end of a match when you're playing top 8 teams. You know, you got to have it all the way through. So Georgia Tech, the passing game's got to come back, and the finish, Ohio State is looking great.
Bergman with the side out, 24-19.
That was a nice low ball. So D'Amico, instead of going high, she said, I'm going to do the same thing. Take some notes from Podraza, going flat to Bergman, giving her the seam.
Buckeyes up 24-19. D'Amico with the serve. And it's Long dot, hammers it. And just Long couldn't dot it on the corner.
When you're down to this, so you got match point with the other team, it's just you have to play one at a time as a defense. You just go, we got to go as hard as we can. This ball, don't look at score, play your game.
Oh, and Georgia Tech with the errant serve receive, now pulling to within 3.
Morbid serve for Ohio State's been solid all match, but you can see the line drive from D'Amico on that service game causing a little chaos.
And D'Amico has a bit of a tricky serve. The junior setter will once again wind it up. Orbiter clean contact. Gonzalez finishes it off. And Ohio State takes the third set, 25-21. It was the Marietta, Georgia native, Gabby Gonzalez. They got the final swing to put the Buckeyes one set away from knocking off the number 5 Yellow Jackets on the road. 4th set coming up. Buckeyes are set away from avenging their Sweet 16 loss to Georgia Tech last December, a 25-21 win in the third set. Our ABCA coaches poll standings. First column, the records of these teams entering the week. Second column, what they've done this week. And you wonder, Ohio State, if they can finish this week with defeating Georgia Tech and BYU on top of beating Louisville on the road last Sunday, how high could the Buckeyes climb in the standings?
You know, Coach Flynn Oldenburg, she said, yeah, we know 5 of those teams are Big Ten, 3 of those teams are ACC, but our eyes are in the end game, going through the Big Ten Conference and then hitting that tournament play. So you have all these teams in front of you. They almost know they're going postseason, so it's all about the prep and the long-term goal of winning the national championship.
And depending on how this match unfolds, they could leapfrog all the way to number 4, but only the 3rd highest ranked Big Ten team.
Yeah, and pretty impressive. You're seeing some solid game all around, but it's led by upperclassmen. When you know you have a team full of seniors and juniors, leadership's around, and then you build the culture with your underclassmen.
Ohio State played 2 matches against Texas to begin the season. Swept in 1, lost in 4 in the other. And they play at Nebraska on September 24th. Georgia Tech this week steps on the road for a pair of SEC contests. They go to Fayetteville to take on Arkansas Thursday. Then the big rivalry matchup next Sunday in Athens versus Georgia. But for Michelle Collier, her focus solely on evening this match at 2 sets. It's been a bit of a roller coaster from a hitting percentage standpoint for the Jackets in this contest. Bertolino tools the point.
You know, I've been in Londot side, so the right side blocker just getting tooled all game long. You almost want to drop your hands every single time because it's so annoying to get used every time, but when Bertolino can take a swing off the hands.
Pushed over, but wide. Moss, I think, wants that one back.
You know, great swing by Moore on the outside to set up that ball. It's just a scramble at the net. I know Moss wants it one back, but Moore 18 on your screen. Guys, she's been lighting it up on the offense.
Has been heavily used in her Buckeye career, now a senior. She has been impressive in spurts today and will continue to be counted upon for Jen Flynn Oldenburg throughout this season. Tipped over and down, right over the double block. That time Moss finds the touch.
You know, that's just respect of defenders sitting back on their heels, expecting the hard shots because they remember the last set, but Moss being so smart in her senior year, dropping it over short.
Elizabeth Patterson comes in to serve. Georgia Tech has yet to play a 5-setter this season. They'll aim for one here. Blocked back and down, Moss. 3-1 Jackets.
Hard to come in cold and make a strong serve, but that started with Patterson's serve, and Moss is just telling you guys, you're gonna have to hit left or right, cut around me, because going through me, you're not going.
Moss had a career-high 7 blocks last Sunday versus FIU, preseason All-ACC. That's impressive. Maybe not as impressive as this, Keely. She's a chemical and biomolecular engineering major at Georgia Tech.
The pure Georgia Tech student athlete you're looking at with Erin Moss.
I don't know how she finds the time in the day.
Right?
Pimentel, right spot. Bergman kept up by the Buckeyes. Back to Moore. And down the line, off the touch.
You know, unfortunate for Moore, she's in the front row with Rader and Londot at the same time. She's right between them, but her offense is so solid. You almost want to flip her and give her more attempts on that attack, but so solid that she's been doing the last 2 sets.
Well, that was the gunslinger's walk that she gave after that kill. 3-time Maryland High School Player of the Year. Bertolino serves it right back. But looks like it'll be an Ohio State point. Tried to do the tool again. Instead, we're level at 3.
Yeah, the attack went a little, the set went a little wider than she would have hoped to catch that antenna on the swing.
Londot cranks it from the back, and Ohio State in front.
You can feel the rhythm for the Buckeyes settling in. You got Pedraza making smart plays, running forward, reversing the flow back to Londot with the put away.
What have you thought of Londot's performance tonight? That's a 9th kill. She's got 6 digs, hitting 100.
You know, overall good, but it's been in different phases because Georgia Tech has recognized where she is to try to commit on her. So it was like the 2nd and 3rd set a little bit that Georgia Tech was all over it.
That shows you that they don't need to rely on Emily Londot every single night in order to get the job done. Georgia Tech has the job done with Bianca Bertolino changing pace.
You know, I have been impressed with Londot's defense. That's one that just dropped right in front of her because Bertolino had defenders looking for the tool shot. Smart job mixing it up.
Double-double for the sophomore Bianca Bertolino.
You know, Andy, for a second, just think about how Bertolino started this match.
Yeah.
You know, she struggled in the first set, and now she's finishing, well, she has a double-double, so she'll finish the match with at least that. It's all about the bounce back and recovery. When you recruit a player, you always hope that that's the case, but you never know until they're in the fire, how players are going to respond. Bertolino's the real deal.
And sometimes you struggle early in some facet of the game. You can't get that out of your mind, and it affects you and lingers over you for the remainder of the match. For Bertolino, that hasn't been the case. That stoicism sometimes so important for a player. Over the long set. Bergman snipes it.
It's a transition, fast attack, nice low set out by D'Amico. Watch his ball, nice and flat, saying, hey, I know if I give Bergman a seam, she's gonna put it to the floor.
Yep. Ohio State couldn't close up the block on the senior, Julia Bergman. Gives her a match-high 16 kills. Another joust at the net. Chance for Ohio State to reset. Gonzalez was off balance on that swing. Now Bergman. Patterson keeps it up. Bergman again, blocked. Ohio State all over it.
Way to recognize Bergman was taking that cross-court. 10 on your screen. Got the drop in on this cross-court shot. You got Pedraza going up with the read and the stuff.
That was a tenacious point by the Buckeyes. The ties at 5.
You know, that attack is just, on the previous attack, Bergman beat her through the seam, and that's when you take it away on the second ball. Nice job.
Orbits her into the net. Service here gives Tech the lead.
You got the matchup right now. You got Gonzalez out with D'Amico. This ball's good going outside.
We go to the outside. Now Laundot. Continuing to pound it away to Bergman. Is it long? It is.
That's the first time we've seen Ohio State do a triple block out of system. Gabby Gonzalez came all the way over on that first attack by Bergman, and then the second transition play, Bergman thought she was going to have a triple again and just hit it long.
And they were loading up on the All-American there. Nothing wrong with that swing from Bergman. You know, this is the most back and forth start to a set that we've had so far. Really, the sets haven't really come down to the wire.
You're right, Andy. The serve-receive game for both teams looking good, and then Bergman working different shots. Instead of going down, she's like, hey, let me take this one deeper. So just the intelligence we're seeing and the mental capacity to withhold the nerves.
Back and forth, it continues with Adria Powell, the senior.
You know, the middle attack has been quiet for the Buckeyes. Nice to see Pedraza get Powell involved because you're seeing a really pin-dominant attack. But if you can mix it up, that's how you're going to keep this Georgia Tech block really guessing, and then their defense not able to set up.
Ohio State hitting 220 for the match, Georgia Tech 140. Teams continuing to trade points in the fourth. Bergman, too much muscle.
You know, the only way Bergman got that ball one-on-one is because it was a money pass. D'Amico at the net, watch how the middle Powell had to hold just enough. Bergman saying, hey, you're moving, I'm gonna work you deep.
Over the moving block of Powell as Bergman approaches a second straight match with 20-plus kills. Laundot had to reach back for it. And Georgia Tech gets something in transition. It's punched over by Bergman. Gonzalez with authority. Gabby Gonzalez continuing to build a season high. That's a 15th kill.
Watch the hesitation in the hands. Just a little hold, and then you kick it out. As the setter, Pedraza held the middle. Great setting technique. Just a little hesitation, kick it out fast. That's how you beat a block as a setter.
Season high in kills, season high in attacks for the senior Gabby Gonzalez. Also has a double-double with 11 digs. And 9 double-doubles a season ago. Quick set turns into a point for the Jackets with Freeland Morissette.
That's fearless play you're seeing right there, Andy. You're like, hey, I'm going to be definitely with a blocker straight in front of Morissette, but I'm still setting her. D'Amico, fantastic choice on that set.
Side-out city in this fourth set. 9-8 Georgia Tech. Morissette the serve, long, 9-all.
You know, that's hard because Liz Patterson came in for Harper with the service game, so Patterson was out. The last set, they were subbing Patterson for Morissette on the serve.
Mentel will make that Bertolino and blocked by Londot. For the first time, somebody in this set has a run. Ohio State in front.
The only difference with this swing, Bertolino went cross court. Her game, remember, has been the line attacker. It's got to feel good, Raider, because she's been tooling your outside blocker all day long.
That is Laura Fisher, the sophomore, from the outside.
D'Amico going with the least expected, so great job. You saw the hesitation on the jump by Moore on the block. Just enough hesitation with a nice swing by Harper down the line.
Yeah, D'Amico backsetting Laura Fisher, sparingly used. 6'3" out of Longwood, Florida. Moore trying to tap it over. The diving dig by Patterson. Bertolino can't find the soft spot. Joust at the net. Ohio State wins it. It was Raider again. Seems like those 50-50 balls at the net, more times than not, Keely, have gone the Buckeyes' way.
Yeah, Raider had the first contact on that. She decided not to go straight at Moss, but redirect. Good heads-up play by your junior middle.
Raiders 6 kills, along with her 3 digs and 4 blocks. Londot sails it. Back level at 11.
You know, Andy, in the whole match, I thought the match was going to go just like this, 11-11, tight the whole time. But it's been one set to the next, each team showing up at different times. Now, this fourth set is what we expected.
Yeah, it's been played on a razor's edge so far. Bertolino at 4 aces versus BYU. Great layout. Bergman pushes it down. Back comes Moore. Can the Jackets get it airborne? Only twice, but not over.
Finishing off about every set she's getting is Moore on that swing. You got Bertolino for Georgia Tech all over the place defensively, but just not enough. Moore, that was a fantastic finish on that swing. When you're in the front row, you've been hot.
Yeah, Moore hitting .353 in this match. Terrific work by the senior, and you get a sense, Keely, that this fourth set is going to come down to who flinches first.
This is what you train for. You go all those reps in the weight room. You got extra reps after practice for moments like this.
Ohio State trying to come down to Atlanta and come back to Columbus with 2 wins over top 10 opponents. Combined with their win at Louisville last Sunday, 3 consecutive top 10 wins, 2 in true road environments. That will be an attention getter in college volleyball. So a long way to go. Up 2 sets to 1, up 12-11 in set 4. Bergman with the cut shot. Changed her angle in midair and got it down.
You know, that's why you go with speed on your set when the ball's at the net, because you're going to catch a moving blocker. Great vision. Even if that ball is inside, you got 6'5" Bergman that can adjust because she has vision to know how to go around a block.
Yeah, just the ability to open up like that. You come to O'Keefe Gymnasium, you will likely see at least one Brazilian flag flying in honor of Julia Bergman, Paula Pimentel. Last year's All-American Mariana Brambila, also a native of Brazil, as is head coach Michele Collier. Londot from the back and wide.
That was just a high-level volleyball, right? So you got a good pass. You go back to your baller, right side and right back. She missed it just like inches to the right. Good volleyball we're seeing today.
Now Georgia Tech regains the lead at 13-12.
And in this serve-receive rotation, Gonzalez has been producing the kills against D'Amico for Georgia Tech. So I know it's tempting to go back to Londot again, get Rader involved, but your go-to right now is Gonzalez on the outside.
Yeah, she's on the near side. There's the serve-receive, back set. Back to Gonzalez, Pimentel. Dumped onto D'Amico. Really had no choice but to flip it over her shoulder, but D'Amico found the soft spot.
You only get about one or two of those a match on a legit team, and D'Amico taking it at the right time to put it to the floor.
And for the first time in this entire set, a team has a 2-point lead. 14-12 Georgia Tech, a 3-0 Georgia Tech run.
What helps for Georgia Tech right now, their passing game's back on, and 17 on your screen. She's in the front row for 2 more rotations. If you're Ohio State, it comes down to quickly siding out to get Bergman out of the front row.
Another stoppage to mop up the perspiration. That is only allowing this O'Keefe Gymnasium crowd to grow louder. You knew that sweat would be expended in this contest between number 5 and number 8 in the nation.
You know, I think the advantage for Ohio State was they watched Georgia Tech BYU, so they knew how hot it was. They played, where they said, against BYU Friday night in a crowd where the fans were all in blue for BYU. Yeah. So Coach Flynn Oldenburg knows how to prepare her team, said, hey, we're going to go sleeveless in this gym.
Shrewd decision, right down to the uniform choice. Reaching ball by Londot. The Jackets take advantage. Pimentel, the bump set. Punched over by Bertolino. Now knocked down by the Jackets. They'll reload. Bergman. And sent over wide by the Buckeyes.
This is just grit volleyball you're seeing. It's all about the little details as Coach Flynn Oldenburg taking a timeout.
4-0 run. Ohio State trying to gain its bearings. Georgia Tech up 3 in our 4th. As expected, the Big Ten well represented in the ABCA Top 25 poll. ACC represented by Georgia Tech, Pittsburgh, and number 4 Louisville. And whether you have the number 8 Buckeyes, number 5 Yellow Jackets, you know the folks in Georgia, you know the folks in Ohio are glued to this one, but this is one of those matches, Keely, that I think is drawing a lot of national attention today.
Yeah, I have a family in Michigan and Dallas watching this game over NFL games. That's how important it is.
Bergman cranks it cross court, dug out by Murr. We continue to play. Gonzalez blocked.
The 1-2 by your Ohio native. D'Amico with the setup, knowing that Morissette was closing. Some want-to you're seeing in your setter today.
Yeah, appreciate that. The outside hitter for Ohio State, who's a Georgia native, blocked by the Georgia Tech setter, who's from Ohio, Isabella D'Amico. And it's now 16-12 Tech. Powered by a 5-0 run. Pimentel once again to play it in. Nothing wrong with that one from Gonzalez.
Elite level volleyball is all about the bounce back. So in that previous swing, Gonzalez got blocked. The confidence that her setter Pedraza has to go right back to her to perform a kill, that's elite level volleyball.
16th kill chalked up by Gabby Gonzalez, her career high 22 versus Michigan State last October. Bergman finds the seam. They were loading up the middle. D'Amico spotted the All-American cross court.
That's a smart shot by Bergman, recognizing Kylie Murr, libero for Ohio State's not in the defense. So let me just go right where she should be for the put away.
Yeah, just easy snap down by Bergman. 20th kill for her. Pimentel feeds Fisher for the point. Her second kill of the set.
This is the advantage of being fresh in the match. So you don't really know where Harper likes to hit because she hasn't been playing every set. So she's been able to put 2 kills away through the block of this Ohio State team.
And Jen Flynn Oldenburg calls timeout again, 18-13 Tech. Resilient effort by the Yellow Jackets. It was back and forth through the entirety of this 4th set before this 6-1 Tech run.
Yeah, Georgia Tech just stepping it up with the blocking performance and then finishing off with the transition kill. You know, Andy, this is one of those matches, this is just fun to watch that you just don't want the match to end.
Yeah. These teams proven very worthy of their rankings, I would say. And a great atmosphere inside O'Keefe Gymnasium as well. Will Ohio State leave Atlanta with a 3rd consecutive win over a top 10 opponent, or will Georgia Tech continue its unbeaten start to 2022 and potentially climb a little higher in those rankings? Already tied for their 2nd best regular season ranking in school history. They've won 39 of their last 44 matches at O'Keefe. Rarely have they had to play on their heels. Trying to fight back in this 4th set.
For Ohio State is a good time just to get your middles involved. If this match goes 5 sets, you need Georgia Tech to be thinking you might set the middle.
They do attack the middle right as you prescribed. Powell with the finish.
I think Coach Flynn Oldenburg knows what she's doing, taking that timeout, regrouping her team, said, hey, yep, we do need to get the middle involved to hold Morissette and Moss for Georgia Tech in that middle blocker role.
18-14 Georgia Tech, and it's Pedraza with the serve. And a block by the Buckeyes. Solo block on Bergman.
That's just hang time right there. Gonzalez setting up in the perfect spot and just hang time. Watch as these 2 baller players going at each other. Straight to the floor, yeah. Great penetration.
Oh, an errant serve though by Pedraza. Couldn't even hit the net. You know, you never know how somebody playing what functions essentially as a homecoming match, how they'll perform. If those butterflies may just be too much. Gabby Gonzalez has performed incredibly well. 16 kills, 12 digs. Oh, cheeky finish, soft touch by Londot. Pulls the Buckeyes back to within 3.
You know, that was the first up the middle swing that we've seen by Londot. So you can see a little trickery coming out for this Ohio State offense. That's what they're gonna need. You gotta do something different at this point of the game to keep the block and defense guessing.
Londot up to 10 kills, 9 digs. She could join her teammate Gabby Gonzalez with a double-double. Bianca Bertolino, the lone double-double for the Jackets, 10 kills, 12 digs. And an ace makes it a 2-point set.
Andy, you're totally right. Your home crowd, you come home. This is your hometown. Gabby Gonzalez stepping up her game, just going with a smooth pace back there on the service line as well.
And a timeout, Michelle Collier and the Yellow Jackets. Each team has been off and on at times throughout this match with their first ball contact and their serve receive, but if you're Ohio State trying to finish this out, if you're Georgia Tech trying to extend this to a fifth set, that serve receive becomes extra magnified over these next few minutes.
So you know Ohio State right now, you have Moore in your front row. She's been getting you kills. You know Georgia Tech's block is going to be thinking about long dot on the right side. So your go-to play right now after you just ran that middle attack is feed Moore. She's been doing it, getting you kills, has the highest hitting percentage on the court right now. Go to her, number 18.
Yeah, 353 clip for Janasia Moore. Not a bad option. Ohio State took set one, 25-19. Jackets 25-20 in the second. Buckeyes rallied 25-21 in the third. A Sweet 16 rematch from a season ago in Louisville. Georgia Tech won that one in 3.
And the good news also for Ohio State right now, you got Bergman in the back row. So you can think of her a little less, although you have to identify where she is. But this is a tougher rotation for Georgia Tech to side out of.
Look at Mariana Brambila, who was phenomenal in that Sweet 16 matchup versus the Buckeyes. 18 kills, 18 digs, hit .444. 19-17 Jackets. Gonzalez back to work from the service line. Can the Buckeyes make it one? Moore, dug out by Bergman. D'Amico feeding short and pounded down for the point.
London says that's the easiest kill I've gotten all day. Open net, overpass, just a quick snap down, ready at the net on the scramble. That's a thank you.
Yeah. Don't need to be an All-American to get a point like that. And it's now a 1-point Georgia Tech lead. It is getting taught inside O'Keefe. Bertolino, did it clip a hand? Georgia Tech says yes. Officials agree.
You've got to be so frustrated being a right front blocker against Bertolino. Her game, I played with many teammates internationally with this type of game saying, hey, give me block your hands. I'm not scared of you. Going right through those hands. Trying to play it off, but there was no touch, but
yeah, Jen Flynn Oldenburg will use her challenge card. Obviously, if it gets overturned, we're tied up.
You know, Andy, that's pretty smooth. So the communication between Londot and her coach said, Coach, if it's just like a little bit of a touch, sometimes there's just not enough evidence that was a clean touch. So you can get away with this if that communication was correct between Londot and her coach.
Again, the call on the court was point tag. We'll see what the camera from the near pin shows us. I don't know if that's going to give us the best angle.
And
maybe left forearm of Londot.
So it's going right through. You're going to see probably this is your best angle. If there's any redirect motion on that ball.
Looks like maybe right arm of Londot. Beg your pardon. What do you think, Keely?
You know, this is the right challenge call. You use it because it's going to be so subjective. Because it could have been, you know, if your attacker hits the fingers, there's movement on fingers. But anytime the challenge call is through the arms, if there's not a clean redirect of the ball rotation, a lot of times this will win for the blocker side.
I think the issue is not whether it grazed fingers, but whether it grazed the bicep it looked like of Londot.
So much harder to tell because with the finger motion, it's easier to see like a finger go back. But on the arm contact, you really have to look at the ball rotation.
Headset is off. We'll see if the call stands. Will we be tied after this review? Everybody holding their breath at O'Keefe. And it is Ohio State's point. No touch on Jen Linflin Oldenburg. That's about as fired up as you'll see a coach on a review. And we are knotted at 19. It's a 4-0 Buckeye run.
You know, that was so tight. So really the only person in the gym that knows if she touched or not is number 22, Long Dot. And I think the communication went down like, Coach, I barely touched it. It's not enough to notice. Move on, you win the point.
What a response by the Buckeyes. And Georgia Tech regroup. Michelle Collier continuing to plead her team's case. But Gonzalez ready to serve. Who will be the first to 20? Bergman gets it blocked, and it'll be the Buckeyes.
The comeback we're seeing in this set by the Buckeyes is impressive. Just a go-to great service game by Gonzalez to set up this triple block for her team. Full team effort right now.
Long Dot, can she find the angle? She can. What a run by the Buckeyes, and now they're up 2. And timeout, Georgia Tech.
How you perform when you're tired sets you apart. The champion inside of you. When you're tired and your game's on the line, Long Dot coming up strong with that attack.
It's a 6-0 Ohio State run. And now up by 2, closing in on a 4-set win. They would not be on the cusp of a road win versus Georgia Tech without the play of their Marietta, Georgia native, Gabby Gonzalez.
16 kills, hitting 209. Doing it on the block. It's her front row game that's really set her apart. Working line shots when she has the matchup. Pedraza, her setter, giving her money balls for different putaways. You love to see a home crowd kid perform.
And she has brought it, hitting 209. But what's turned things around for Ohio State? At one point, it was Georgia Tech 19-15. O'Keefe was rocking. Ever since, it's been all Buckeyes. What have they done to adjust?
You know, it's this rotation for Georgia Tech. Bergman's in your back row. You need a kill. And if you don't get the pass, it's an easy setup to go out and close on Bertolino on the outside. So other than Georgia Tech right now in this, other than Bergman, in this rotation, you have to find offense. And if I'm Ohio State, I'm serving Bergman to take her out of the swing so I can go ahead and commit on a different attacker.
See if Gonzalez will target Bergman again. What can Georgia Tech summon? Bertolino got it.
The vision of Bertolino to recognize the moving attacker. When they're set up, she likes to work the tool game. When she knows the middle is moving with Powell, she's able to hit the middle to drop it down the front of her.
11th kill by Bertolino. Short set, dug out Bertolino. Now Fisher, covered well. Long Dot. What a rally. What suspense. Punched over, point Tech. And we're tied again.
Incredible hard-nosed play by this Georgia Tech side. Running some defensive balls down, just creating enough chaos, which actually, if the ball was set inside, I thought Moore was going to take a rip, but just a little wide for her to connect on.
Well, one of the longest rallies of this entire match, one of the most consequential. Georgia Tech, a 2-0 run, back level at 21. Morissette tries to drop it short. Buckeyes are there. Moore crushes it. She has been a Terminator from the pin.
Andy, that's who I'm going with first ball for the rest of the match. When she's in the front row, she's beating the block with the same. So explosive off of 2 feet. Nice finish, Moore.
Now the third Buckeye with double-digit kills. 22-21 OSU.
For Georgia Tech, you got Moss in the front row if you get a pass.
Miko has to range over for it. Bertolino cross court, popped high, ranging over. Recovered by the Buckeyes. Moore. Hit the line, it does. Aaron Moss rearranging her body in midair to tie this at 22.
Aaron Moss has been getting the side out, just making smart plays. The previous tip was over the block. That caused Moore to take a step to her right. Moss doing a great job going back to the sideline.
Aaron Moss on the verge of double-digit kills. The senior has 9. This is top 10 volleyball, and there is no doubt about that. Patterson, error on the serve. Can ill afford that.
So I'm serving, I'm going right at Bergman to take her out of the offense and setting up on Moss on the middle.
They do serve to Bergman. Back to Julia Bergman, gets it down. Just glanced a hand.
That's how you defeat strategy. Bergman receives the servicing pass slightly off and then still finishes the point when she gets the set. Great play, Bergman.
Quick set out of the middle, and now Ohio State has match point.
Such a smart play, getting that middle involved. Radar has been consistently playing and getting up for her setter Pedraza. Just when you thought ball was going outside, said, hey, I got you right here.
So will it be Ohio State in 4 sets, or will we have to play on?
Unless something insanely happens on this pass, this ball 100% is going out to Bergman.
Here it comes to Bergman, changes speed, joust at the net. Ohio State gets the point, and Ohio State gets the win. What a showing by the Buckeyes.
The respect earned by both of these squads. This is national respect when you play a match with such top-level volleyball.
Buckeyes grinded out in the 4th. Remember, down 19-15 before that 6-0 run. And these Buckeyes over this past week at the Georgia Tech Classic have proven a lot to the rest of the nation about what kind of potential they have in 2020.